For this project, you'll need any yarn of your choice, a pair of scissors, a needle to weave in your loose ends, and I'm using a 4.5 millimeter hook. To start, you're going to make a slip knot like so, and then you're ready to go. I start with chaining 17 for this particular swatch for this video, but you can chain however many you need for your project. To start the second row, begin with chaining 1 and then going into the second stitch from your hook, or that 17th stitch or the last stitch you had made from your previous row. Go in with a single crochet and then yarn over and go 2 stitches over for your first shell stitch, and go straight into the second stitch over with 5 double crochets. So here is 2, 3, 4, and 5 to make your first little shell. After that, go 2 stitches over again and put 1 single crochet into that stitch to close your shell. Then just repeat that all the way down in the second stitch over. Begin your next shell with the 5 double crochets. Three, 4, and 5. Again, there's your little shell with your 5 double crochets, and then go in 2 stitches over with a single crochet to close that shell. Repeat all the way down. At the end of your row, you're going to do your single crochet to close up the last shell, then chain 3, turn your work, and it should look something similar to this. Then yarn over and chain 2, yarn over again and look for that single crochet space from the previous row and add 3 double crochets for a cluster stitch. Chain 2 after every cluster stitch, yarn over and repeat that all the way down. So look for the single crochet space in between the shells from the previous row and put a cluster stitch of 3 double crochets into that space. When you reach the end, go into that single crochet space with 1 double crochet. That just keeps the edges straight and neat. Now chain 1 and turn your work. Go into that same chain space with 1 single crochet, yarn over, and then in that previous chain 2 space, you're going to make a shell stitch in that space. So go in and begin your 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you have your shell space made. And now looking at the cluster stitch from the previous row, it had the 3 double crochets. You're going to go into the second double crochet or the middle of the crochet stitch cluster and add a single crochet to close that shell. Repeat that process. So yarning over and doing 5 double crochets into that previous chain 2 space, and then just close it up with a single crochet into the middle or the second stitch of the previous cluster from that previous row. When you reach the end, just go ahead and put a single crochet into the last stitch and chain 3. Repeat that pattern for your desired length of your project. And a little helpful tip I found while working this pattern up is for that closing single crochet that you need. It can get tucked under that shell because that's where you did the chain 5 on the previous round. So just move it over and make sure you're getting into the 3rd chain so that everything will stay nice and straight on the edges and close up your row. From there, you can just repeat that process of chaining 3, turn your work, chain 2 more, and then begin your clusters after that to keep all of your edges straight. My daughter wanted me to show you her cool new pink jug that she filled with toys. And then it should look something like this. You just work it up for your desired length. If you want that more scalloped shell edge, you can leave it on this row with all of your shells. If you want a straight edge, I'd recommend instead of the chaining 5 row, just chain 3, turn your work, and add an extra double crochet to make those edges more structurally sound. And then just continue with your usual clusters down the entire row. And when you get to the very end, you will just make sure to match it with 2 double crochets, same as the beginning of the row. Next, you're going to chain 1, grab some scissors, cut the yarn, and tie it off. Here is my finished shell row stitch pattern all worked up. I have a few more projects with this pattern coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. If you create anything with this pattern, I would absolutely love to see it and share it on my Instagram. Please tag me on there. The @ will be right here at the bottom of the screen. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next project.